All right, welcome back all you YouTube preppers. It's Prepping Outside the Box with Josh. And today we are going to talk about scavenging and some health precautions, just things to keep in the back of your mind, the micro of the situation. I mean, I get the gist of it. You need this, go get this. Areas, houses, whatever. I get it. But the micro part is what we're talking about, because there's no need to have unwanted issues while you're out. You have enough issues as it is. You're obviously surviving. So we're talking about scavenging and health precautions, and I know a lot of people are out there probably. Well, I've got supplies for 2-3 years, all this kind of stuff, and we're not just talking about just you, and even that. I mean, we don't know how long an SHTF situation can last. We don't know if you take on more people. We don't know what's going on, but I assume if it's going to be a long-term thing, eventually you're going to have to go out and find something. Whether your supplies run out or are getting low, natural disasters. We got tornadoes here. We got all that kind of stuff. I mean, what if all of a sudden my beautiful garden gets ripped up? You know what I mean? Or hurricanes or earthquakes, whatever, what have you. Things can happen that'll disrupt it. Or like Prepper Nation says, the horde. You have the horde coming your way, and it could. Even though you're like 60 miles out, all of a sudden all these people are getting desperate and desperate. They didn't prepare as much as you, so they're coming for you. You know, maybe you've got to go. So scavenging on the move, whatever it is. Maybe you need medical help. Maybe your kid, your wife, your husband, whatever it is, maybe they're sick. Maybe it's beyond your medical expertise. Maybe it's a medicine you need for them that you can't find. Herbal or whatever kind it is. Or that you don't have, not that you can't find. If you can't find it, that's terrible. But anyways, there's always a reason that you'll most likely have to scavenge for something. So getting into that, it's not going to be your, I'm thinking, you know, a year down the road. 3 months, I'm sure we could tough a lot of things out. 2 years, year and a half. I mean, a year's a long time, especially for most of the nation that does not prepare for anything. I would like to think it's not a small community, but I'm pretty sure prepping is a pretty little community. I know there's a lot of people, depending on the area you live in, that's going to be different. But anyways, so getting into it. When you're moving around, it's not that in that beautiful Walking Dead, everyone keeps mowing after the apocalypse for some reason. Everything's going to be, you know, starting to be taken over by nature. You're going to have tall grass. You're going to have overgrown, you know, bushes and all this stuff that's going to be making it more difficult for you. And by more difficult, I mean we've got a lot of things like in Missouri, brown recluses. We've got black widows. We've got snakes. We've got things that can bite and cause medical problems. If you don't know how to deal with it, then it's going to really set you back. So we're talking about health precautions, all that stuff, and it's more on the precaution side. It's taking your time. Say you're with your group or whatever it is, or you're by yourself, you got to go get some food or something, and you come up to a house, they're not going to be kept. They're not going to be slightly dusty. They've probably already been ravaged through a couple times. Who knows? But the problem is you don't know who lived there, and maybe even if you did, you might not know where everything in that house is, so you start rummaging around and all of a sudden spiders took it over. I know every time I come down here to the basement, I mean my secret underground lair, every time I come down to my basement, there's always brown recluses. I'm always killing one or two. And this is a high traffic area. I know spiders like that, they don't like high traffic, so they usually tend to stay underneath things, stay in the corners, stay away. Well, when no one's been in a house for a long time, nature starts taking over. Things start coming around. I know my dad's house, we used to have snakes inside the house, and we lived there all the time. So you gotta take that in consideration. You can't just run in, start looking through stuff, start throwing stuff around. Because what if all of a sudden you do come across some brown recluses and you get bit? It's not like you're going to run to the hospital like you can now. you gotta either have the knowledge to be able to take care of it, or some kind of medication or something to be able to take care of it, or you're gonna have another issue that you're gonna have to deal with on top of it. So besides that, because I mean everyone gets nature. I don't know if it's always at the forefront of your mind, but you get it. You get the idea. You still got to be cognizant of it, that it's going to be a more prevalent thing that's out there. On top of that, and the tall grass, all that stuff, I know there's a lot of farming equipment. There's a lot of trashier areas around about the city, outside the city, depending on where you live. But metal rusts, things get torn up, things get broke up. I don't think that unkept neighborhoods, or especially if stuff starts getting really bad, breaking and things like that, you get sharp edges. You got to be careful. You can't just be running through things. Be slow and methodical. I'm just saying, keep it in your mind that it's not like it's gonna, be this clean town, clean city the whole duration of whatever you're going through. You're gonna have to be dealing with a whole bunch of stuff that's just going to join the SHTF club, right? But on top of that, so there's a lot of druggies around the area I live. Actually, not in the neighborhood I live in, obviously. Well, I guess it's not obvious. They're not in the neighborhood I live in, but anyways, in the city, right? I'm just outside the city, but in the city there's a lot of drug addicts. You get needles, you get different things. I'm not going to be shoving my hands in people's bags. I'm not going to be shoving my hands in all these drawers and all this kind of stuff just willy-nilly. You got to be looking, you got to open up, you got to take your time, because there's no coming back from getting a drug needle stuck in your hand. There's no coming back from me shoving my hand in something and getting a rusty blade slicing on my arm, slicing with my hand. I mean, most people know that it's not something that I can just easily deal with necessarily. I can clean it. I have enough medical knowledge to be able to take care of it myself, but I might not have antibiotics. I'm going to have something to deal with on the back end of that. So when you're rushing through things, take your time, take a breath, go through it slowly. Open up the bag. Look at what you're doing before you start shoving your hand in there. There's no reason to sit there and cut yourself when all you're trying to do is get a can of food or something. So don't bring unwanted stress. Don't exacerbate situations. So watch out for sharps. Watch out for things that can stick you and you can't come back from, right? Like needles. Watch out for snakes. Watch out for spiders. Watch out for those things that are all of a sudden now they're taking back their area. They're reclaiming the land, right? I like to say also, if you're scavenging, on a side note too, be systematic. Have a way of doing things. When you're going in a room, left to right, front to back, top to bottom, bottom to top, however you do it the same way every time. Always do it the same way every time. If you're going to search something, do it right. There ain't no reason to go and do anything half-ass. Always do it right the first time. Don't waste your time running around things and then skipping over something that might be very useful to you. I mean, a lot of things have been scavenged through, I'm sure, by the time you get to the point, but what if they are rushing through things and they miss something that you need, that you're specifically looking for? Be systematic about it. All I'm doing is the whole, and I know some people don't like this, but slow is smooth, smooth is fast. So take your time, be methodical, be precautious, and realize that it's not the run and gun happy-go-lucky world of like The Walking Dead, right? And I like the show. I'm just saying it's not that clear cut. All right. So again, I hope some of this helped out. I hope it put some thoughts in your mind, got something brewing. If you have something extra to add to it, throw it in the comments section. I'd like anybody that sees this, that gets even more knowledge from other people out there. We've got a tight-knit community, I think, that needs to share and grow together. If you do like the video, like it, share it, subscribe, hit that bell, get the notifications. I'm going to be doing some more of these. I've got about another 5 videos lined up for through the next couple weeks, depending on what the schedule looks like. I'm going to try to get these out on at least an every other day, if not every day basis. just to throw out, like I was saying, my 2 cents. But this is Prepping Outside the Box. I'm Josh, and I'll see you next time.